In a new documentary released tomorrow, Freddie Flintoff has opened up in raw detail about the horrific Top Gear car crash which left him fearing he was dead.
He is just... Do you know what? I'm so pleased he's done this documentary because I feel that he needs to, and he needs to get his side of everything out and how he's felt, because so much has been printed about it. Of all the celebrity people I've met over the years, I have to list Freddie, or Andrew, as whatever you like to call him, as one of the nicest I've ever met. He's just a down-to-earth, lovely, family, gorgeous man, and I was devastated when this happened to him. So I'm really looking forward to seeing the.
It looks really powerful, doesn't
really
it?
powerful.
It looks really powerful.
So devastated when it happened as well.
Yeah.
But so thankful that he survived.
And a lot of the people who've seen it, the reviewers, have all given it 5 stars. And part of the documentary is Freddie's wife Rachael talking about preparing their kids to see him after the crash, telling them, you've just got to be as strong as you have ever been. Your dad does look different at the moment. It's going to get better, but I don't want you to look shocked or horrified because that's going to knock him. God, I can't imagine what a hard conversation that is to have with kids. I mean, is that something... I know your kids, you've always been you.
Yeah.
But have you had to have a conversation with your kids, a tricky one, about, what happened to you?
Yeah, I think there's definitely been moments in our house that wouldn't be in your sort of average household. I mean, I haven't had, like Freddie, where a huge trauma happens and the children need to be told about it. Because, like you said, my kids have known me like this, and I suppose that's one thing I'm glad that this happened in my 20s before they existed. I think how I'd say the comparison is, for me, it's like if the children are adopted and they've always known. It's been an ongoing conversation. That's what it's been like in our house. My kids know I was injured when I was young. They know exactly how it happened. And that's the way I always want the house to remain, just open communication.
Has that something that's always been part of that? It wasn't like you had to sit them down and give them a big chat or anything?
Not really. I guess there was a sort of turning point when they went to school and they realised other people's parents don't look like that, or maybe peer groups start asking questions. But
How did they react when you told them what happened?
I think at first it's like, will that happen to me? Does that happen to everyone? And I think that's why it's really good to have these conversations, firsthand, rather than them getting educated by someone else in the playground. But, people may not agree with me on this, but I think it's important to share the truth with children, and life can be tough and challenges do arise, and I've never sort of hidden that from my kids. I really admire Freddie, what he's done with this programme. I think it's really courageous, and it's a good reminder that it is the family and the friends that also go through these things when life-changing situations happen.
And Tanya, what about you with your daughter?
My daughter was the same. She's only known me as a wheelchair user, but she was really young when she said to me, oh, it's really sad that you're in a wheelchair. And you're like, OK, just why? And you're thinking all these things. And she said, well, you can't give me a piggyback. I went, OK, is that it? And then she was like, well, yeah, mummies are meant to be taller. But that was kind of it. But I think children can be really accepting. And I think you're right, you've got to prepare them. Life is hard. And I've got a lot of friends who've had traumatic injuries, and I've got a friend who had a traumatic injury and their children, prepared for it. But it might have been easier because their children knew me as well. But I know when I was young, I was 5 when a complete stranger stopped me in the street and asked me why my parents hadn't terminated the pregnancy.
Wow.
And it was like, you don't really understand as much.
Yeah.
But Mum sat down with me and she talked through what that was and what it meant. And that's a really bad haircut that she did. But she was also really honest with me because, when I was born, they were told if I'd been born a couple of years earlier, I'd been taken away, not fed and allowed to die. And, again, she was talking about that and she was quite open with me. She said that if she'd known that she was going to have a baby born with spina bifida, she might have considered termination.
Because she didn't know you at that point. It was just
And people get upset, but she never said, having had you, I wish you were terminated. So that open conversation, and, kids can be really accepting. They see what's in front of them and, they learn to adapt. Yeah. It's only later they learn
Just don't lie to them.
Yeah.
Don't lie to them. I wanted to ask you, Cole, because obviously Kira was quite young when Bernie died. How did you handle that?
It was really difficult because of 2 or 3 weeks before Bernie passed away, me and Kira went and stayed with her, and Bernie was she was up and about, but she had to be in a wheelchair. She'd have her oxygen on, but she could talk and blah, blah, and Kira lay on the couch with her, and lovely time, lovely, lovely. And then we went, and then Kira went on a school trip, and I think it was her first school trip, actually, away, staying away, and then Bernie passed away. And, no, Bernie passed away, and then Kira went on a school trip. And then
so Kira was like primary age,
yeah? She was primary.
Yeah.
I think it was the last year or two in primary. And it was that moment of, do we bring her back for the funeral, or do we just let her have her moment as a kid and stay away? She doesn't need to see us all crying and sad. And so we didn't, she knew that Bernie had passed, and she stayed on her school holiday. But to this day, she's 24 in June now. She always says, I wish you'd have brought me back.
Oh, that's interesting. See, I would have made the same decision as you.
Because she doesn't feel that she got to grieve properly over Auntie Bernie like she did with Linda recently.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, when my dad died and my two boys were young, and again, I said to them, what do you want to do? And Shane, my eldest, said, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
He wanted to stay and play football with his friends and all that. And Jake, who was even younger, was determined to go. So I let them choose. And they don't regret any of that. But I feel bad now with Kira, because I thought at the time I was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, the Freddie Flintoff documentary does look incredible. It's on tomorrow night, Disney+. And obviously Freddie's been through a lot, but also you can see that his wife Rachael has as well. So Rachael, if you're watching, we're sending love and support to you. Well done.